drive can be fine if it's a fast one, but that is a super slow hard drive. So it 100% usage on it basically crawls that portion of my computer down to a halt.
I'll be right with you.
Which sucks. I want to replace that hard drive. Hello.
Haven't run into you before. You probably wouldn't remember me anyway. I'm Mr. Lopez.
Why wouldn't I remember you?
Nobody does. I'm not very memorable. Don't worry. It won't be a problem for much longer.
Well, look at the time. I have to go.
Whatever.
Yeah, Lopez. Good thing I don't have a lot of games. I have a good bit of games, but it's usually fine. Like, the hard drive size, it's fine. It's the speed of the hard drive that's the problem. It's a slow hard drive. I have a hard drive that's incredibly fast and a hard drive that's incredibly slow. And, yeah. Hello.
I am Father Clifford. This is St. Monica's Church.
Well, nice to be here. Who's the St. Monica?
She is the patron saint of lost children. Very popular among the faithful of Rivet City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come.
Okay, I think Mr. Lopez is suicidal.
Yes, I know. I've been counseling him for some time now. He used to go stand on the observation balcony all afternoon. He's down to only an hour or so at 3 o'clock.
There, Diego and Angela are sleeping together. Lie. No. This probably won't work because this is my first time doing it, but I'm reading and learning from it. Well, that's good. Learning is always a good thing. If it ends up not working, I recommend the Tale of Two Wastelands installation guide that a YouTuber by the name of Gopher made. It's a very easy to learn video guide, so you can follow along in the video, and he gives some very interesting tips. And it is for Vortex, so if you're using Vortex, it might be simpler to understand.
Saint Monica bless you.
Good to see you.
Hello.
I'm Diego, the acolyte for St. Monica's.
Who's St. Monica?
St. Monica saved her own son's soul from eternal damnation. She is now the patron saint of lost children for the faithful everywhere. You really should come to church on Sunday mornings. The sermon will be all about St. Monica.
Alright. I hear Staley has a crush on you.
What are you talking about? I'm a man of the cloth. Well, I will be as soon as Father Clifford. Never mind. It doesn't matter what Angela thinks. Soon I will take vows of chastity.
Yeah, you shouldn't pass up this love, you know?
Father Clifford says she is my trial, my temptation. I must choose between her and the church. I have chosen the church.
Alright.
God bless you.
Fine. Let's have a look up here. Ooh, holotape.
Despite the harshness of the wasteland, I've discovered in more than a few here a compassion that is unheard of in the Commonwealth. Perhaps it's the daily struggle for life here which gives appreciation for life in general, whether human or android. In a few days, I'll be a free man, a new man. Let me say thank you now for referring me to Pinkerton at Rivet City, because I will not remember any of this soon.
Pinkerton. Hey.
You make it quick. I'm on a tight schedule.
Your daughter has a crush on Diego.
Yeah, I know. Thank God he's a priest. At least I know nothing's going on between them. Would kick him out of the priesthood if he ever found out.
That's funny. Okay, so we have the Capital Preservation Society. Oh, is that a working model?
Any trouble in this area?
Excuse me, sir. Welcome. Feel free to browse our collection. The Constitution of the USA. The Constitution of the United States was drafted in 1786 and adopted a year later by the Constitutional Convention of Philly. This document defines the organization of the U.S. government and sets forth the rules and regulations known as articles. In addition, there are modifications made to the article by ruling presidents during their reigns known as amendments. The Society owns the only known copy of the document that exists, which was retrieved from the ruins of the National Archives in 2256. Oh, whoops. Emancipation Proclamation. The Emancipation Proclamation was a document issued by the breathtakingly charismatic President Abraham Lincoln in 1862. This executive order was the beginning of the end of slavery in the United States, although it was issued during the Civil War, making it a war measurement. It paved the way for the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which completely abolished slavery once and for all, with a big asterisk. Unless you go to prison, then slavery is apparently fine. Gettysburg Address. The Capitol Preservation Society is proud to have in its possession a copy of one of the most iconic and prolific speeches in the United States history. The speech, given by the astonishingly intelligent Abraham Lincoln on Thursday, November 19th, 1863, laid the groundwork for what would later become the basis of democracy in the United States and set the standards for a country, the government, by the people, for the people. Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine was presented in 1823 by the average and unremarkable President James Monroe. The document warns the European powers of the time not to interfere in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere, citing the example of colonization and puppet governments as possible intolerances. U.S. Declaration of War on Germany. Part of our collection is a copy of the formal declaration of war made on Germany during World War II on December 11th, 1941, by the government and endorsed by the President Franklin D. Roosevelt. While the document doesn't evoke the brilliance of other mass works like the Emancipation Proclamation, it still serves as a reminder to the world that the United States wasn't a power to be trifled with. U.S. Declaration of War on China. Although it is uncertain when the declaration of war on China was made, some say 2066 when they invaded Alaska, others say 2067 when the first power armor suits were deployed to counter their forces. It is the last known document of note authored by the United States government before the bombs fell. Had the declaration had the tenacity and might of a stronger president behind it, say Abraham Lincoln. This guy has a hard-on for Abraham Lincoln. Who's to say what would have been of those tremulous years would have been? Guy loves Lincoln. Got some pages of stuff. A personal quarter of sorts. This man has a lot of flamer fuel. Hold on. Okay. Listen, I need that for my car. You have a pistol? It's a hot plate. This is a... Why are there grenades on the floor? This is a pretty sad collection. Hello.
You've been rather busy lately. Asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please tell me. I'd really like to know.
Who the hell are you?
Fine. Let's cut to the chase. My name is Victoria Watts. I work for a movement whose goals are directly opposed to your own, apparently. It seems you're trying very hard to locate an android my associates and I have tried very hard to hide. You can see how that puts us at odds.
Oh, what do you want?
You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead, and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that, and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that, and you'll have saved a man's life.
Anything else?
Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he is human. But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. please, if there's a shred of decency in you, don't take that away from him.
Alright. Do I get anything?
Of course, if you help me, and thus the android, God and the universe will smile upon you. Is there any better compensation?
I'm gonna need more compensation than that, lady.
We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known.
What about slaves?
Yes, if we are able. But there are others in the wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us.
I'm not gonna join.
You know what you need to do.
Yeah, and I don't know if I will do it. Entirely depends. Okay. Science labs? Well, I don't want to go there right now.
Any trouble in this area?
No, I haven't seen any. This also goes to the science labs. How's my hunger and thirst now? Pretty good. This leads someone named Cantelli. Common room. I'm allowed to sleep here, apparently. Broken terminal. The dummy terminal. With no network setup. Where am I allowed to sleep? Here. And I even have a little footlocker to store things in. Okay. Well, it's not the best sleeping spot. Oh, there's Gary's sleeping spot. Okay. It's not rob Gary. I'm not here to rob Gary. Red light? Why are the filing cabinets locked? Stairwell. Let's go. I guess to the Muddy Rudder. That was downstairs, right? What a terrible bathroom.
Good to see you.
Hello.
Ted Strayer. You can chill with me if you want, dude.
You seem pretty relaxed.
No point in getting all worked up. I get 3 squares, I got a place to crash, and nothing's trying to eat me.
Alright, that... Hey.
Whoa. What's...
Okay, never mind. Thought there'd be more. Hello.
I'm Tammy. Have you seen my good-for-nothing son lately? The little shit is usually up to no good.
No.
Figures. You should buy me a drink now.
What?
Like I care.
Why would I buy you a drink? You're being awfully rude. Hello?
I'm Belle Bonnie, and this is the Muddy Rudder. I'll tell you what I tell all the fresh meat. Don't start anything down here, or I'll have Brock kick your ass.
Is it safe to drink?
Probably not. What do you have?
Alright.
What'll you have?
Nothing, because you don't have water. Look for someone named Pinkerton.
What a moron. Always going on about how he started Rivet City. Who gives a crap? Right before he disappeared, he was going on about some newfangled contraption he was sure was in the broken bow of the ship.
Broken portion. Okay, well that was locked. Pretty good stories.
Go talk to Vera if you want gossip. I don't talk bad about folks.
Alright.
I'll be right here when you get thirsty.
No, you won't, because I'm not looking for alcohol, I'm looking for water. Alcohol is not a good thing to quench your thirst. It just makes you thirstier. Most of it, at least.
Hey.
Hey. That was the bathroom. Yeah, that was the middle floor. That goes to the Weatherly Hotel, and that goes to the marketplace. Let's go here, then. Empty room. It's locked. What's that from? Oh, rebuild the capital. Okay. Young's door. Don't know who Young is. Hello.
Just leave me alone.
Alright. I was gonna try to... Lock and shrapnel store. Gonna try to, you know, cheer you up. Be like, hey, buddy. Hello.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly.
Hello. What's the punk? What's the deal with that little punk?
Poor James. His mother drinks too much. When she does, she doesn't treat him very well. Personally, I think she blames him for his father leaving her, which is ridiculous.
You've heard a bunch of stories.
Why should I tell you? You'll just tell everyone else.
No. Heard Angela has a crush on Diego.
Oh, yes. She's crazy about him. He keeps telling her no, but he also spends a lot of time with her. It's really not fair to her.
How much for a room?
Only 120 caps.
Only?
Get a better deal than that.
That's a lot. No thanks.
Okay then.
What do you have?
Take a look at our menu.
You have purified water. You don't. Does anyone in this godforsaken hellhole have water? Your nephew Brian lost his folks and had a place to live.
Poor dear. I know what it's like to be alone. I'd love to take him in. Don't worry. I have the means to keep him fed and healthy, but most importantly, safe.
I'll send him along shortly. I just have to go back to him.
Oh, that's wonderful. If you ever wander back into Rivet City, why don't you check up on us? You're always welcome.
Hey, alright. Hello.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
No. Sounds like you're accusing me, too. Don't do waste time. Okay. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoops. I just kind of ruined the floor there a bit. I'm sorry. There goes the science lab. That's Dr. Lee's. Anyone in here? Oh, Preston.
You're wounded. Let me bandage that.
Do you know anything about some android?
Well, ancient rumor had it that some hotshot from the Commonwealth was looking for special surgery and some kind of computer tech.
All right. You have any problems with thieves?
Don't get any cute ideas.
No, I'm not.
Security
That was just a question I had.
Now, if you...
You don't say anyone named Pinkerton.
Pinkerton, eh? That name takes me way back. Claimed to have cured radiation poisoning. Or was it food poisoning? I don't recall. He was always telling folks that he founded Rivet City. All he did was break off the front of it. Or did he die there? I don't recall.
On the ship, huh? Yeah.
Sure, I could patch you up.
75. No, thanks. You know, can you help me with this? I got a bit of a problem. I'm a bit of a smoker. Do you got anything?
I thought you had the look about you. Sure, I can help you, but it's not free. 50 caps, take it or leave it.
You know what? Yeah.
Okay. Hold still. I don't want to make this any more painful than it already
Wait,
is.
it's painful?
That was a fine meal. I've got to get back to my base.
Wait, how painful? Ah! It's painful.
You're all set. Are we done here?
Yeah, you got anything?
Sure thing.
For some reason, it's the doctors selling purified water. That seems like a bug to me. Alright, I'll buy some purified water. Bandages. Buy several of them.
Another satisfied customer.
Got any chems?
You can get that crap down at a quick fix. It's in the market.
Alright.
I'm a doctor, not a dealer.
Well, thank you. So I believe he gives me temporary addiction removal. I need to look up this mod real quick just to see how it worked again. Font New Vegas, there is no cure. Tweak and upgrade, there's no cure mod. Disables addiction radiation cure from doctors. Addiction now wear off after a certain delay, but unlike the original mod, die with doctors not deleted. It has to be cured. Addiction will result in a very large dose of fixable accident heavily radiation leading to the little part. You can therefore repeat the operation several times to remove all your radiation. It will cost you a lot. Addictions will now wear off with a strong delay that you can configure with any. Doctors will give you a 5 times stronger fixer dose only if you're not in the fixer effect instead of curing addiction. If you are on the fixer, they'll give you 1. Okay. So this will help me towards curing it, but I won't cure it.
The gate guard said
He gave me a while duration for this. Well, that's nice.
That's why I'm glad we're in here. Good old Rivet City. Me too.
Zimmer.
Nothing is getting through these walls.
I heard that the city council is debating putting
Zimmer.
Well, I hope they do something.
Keep watchdog.
Fell off the deck last year?
Yeah, it's bad. I'm sure they'll do something.
Ah!
Did you hear about the fight in the muddy rudder
My.
last night?
City yesterday.
Yeah, Belgium.
Is that gonna happen again? Ah, yes it is. Okay, one sec. We're installing the mod that removes that right now. Font New Vegas fixer effect disabler fixer splash sound remover. Or you create an empty file for this is stinger.web. Sound remover. Post. Download. Removes the acid or poison sound. Can I remove the visual effect? Because the visual effect is really annoying. Let's see. Oh, why is this an ESP? Is there no just like poison? Is there not one that is? Okay, here's a mod that changes it. Scratch the finds to make, becomes death. Preview the sound here. Well, I can't preview the sound because alright, let's try that one. The description is no more acid being poured into your ears. Effects. I hate that too. Hold on. Audacity. Generate silence for there we go. I've generated 3 seconds of pure silence. I'm gonna export this as a WAV. My desktop. Now we open this up. Sound, FX modes. Copy the name. We rename this. Alright, now it's called FX Poison Stinger. Alright, we install this mod. I open up the file for this, sound, FX modes, and I replace that file with my silent audio file. It's just 3 seconds of pure silence. Now, final, I want to check. I can swap to desktop mode. You can watch me do this. I'm gonna check it in Xedit to just to see what this ESP does. Like, is the ESP even necessary? We'll find out. We'll find out if the ESP does anything. Alright, so here's the ESP. It edits Cazadors. It edits Cazador Poison. Okay. I need to put this up. Yeah. Because this is overwriting a Cazador file. I guess it's just sound, so it's fine. Okay. Move this up. Run my game. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Okay. Now I load this. Is the effect
That's why I'm glad we're in here.
still is horrible?
Me too. Nothing is getting through these walls.
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate guard said the gunfire went on for over an hour.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here. Good old Rivet City.
Me too.
Gotta be something in here.
Nothing is getting through these walls.
It was so noisy last night. I could hardly sleep.
Maybe.
Okay. It's still no screen effect. I'm gonna go ask in here. Wait. I wanted to fix the horrible reason / fixers sound of acid being poured straight into my eardrums. But does anyone know if there is a mod to remove the screen blur every 10 seconds once poisoned / fixer? Alright, let's see if anyone has a mod that fixes the horrible screen blur, because the horrible screen blur is just as annoying.
Quick fix
All
is
right.
something that will help you sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of...
Surprised there isn't anything else in here.
I'll try that.
From the lower deck. It was so noisy.
Maybe in here.
It was so noisy last night, I could hardly sleep.
Let's try again. Three missiles. What the hell? I don't see any information. Good job, dog. Hello?
They call me sister. Don't ask.
Why do they call you that?
Are you making fun of my name? It's a damn good thing for you this place is crawling with security. Otherwise, I'd kick your ass.
Oh, I'm sorry then.
Is there a problem?
What can you tell me about Dr. Lee?
She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship.
Okay. I heard you on the city council.
Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power.
Alright, is anyone on the ship named Pinkerton?
Are those rumors still floating around? Look, I don't have time for swapping ghost stories with you. Pinkerton's a legend. Dead or long gone. Don't care much, as I've got real people to take care of. Go bother someone else.
Alright.
Carry on, then.
A bit rude.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel.
Ah, my goddamn eyes.
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service.
Alright. I'm not looking for anything. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna have the screen effect for a little while. Let's have a look now at our local map. I guess we go to the science lab. There isn't much else here. Would love to check out Dr. Lee's room. Doctor ought to have useful things. Ah.
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Ooh.
Yes, yes, yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctors work with water purification.
Desk. Foot lockers. Is this how the people are living in here? It's quite terrible living conditions.
No matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't
The
even...
intelligence bobblehead. You now gain. What did that say? You now gain 5 extra skill points when reading magazines. I assume that isn't these. I assume that's these. So I get. Wow. So I get plus 10 and plus 5. I get 25 points for these.
The Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, hmm? But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself. What do you need?
Well, is Dr. Lee as smart as they say?
She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here. Though, that's not saying much.
Yeah, anything? Clean drinking water?
The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck.
It didn't have clean drinking water. Looking for my dad.
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
Alright.
Janice, have you overbalanced the chemical?
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
That depends on what it is.
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
What kind?
How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Sounds like slavery. You sure you're not wandering off on purpose?
Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? Of course not. The same principle applies. But let's get back to your mission. You are to find this missing android. I've tracked him to somewhere here in the capital wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it.
Well, compensated, right?
Of course. I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
Wow. Well, sure, I'll go look.
Excellent. Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
Yeah, what exactly is he?
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically.
So any suggestions?
Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings.
If he wandered off, why would he want to mind him face?
Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story.
Why would he feel guilty? Come on, what are you not telling me?
By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now?
Why are you coming after this one if there's others?
This particular android, designation A321, is different. Special. The most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. But A321, it will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable.
Huh. I'm not gonna tell him that. Tell him about the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished.
The person who did the surgery and reprogramming is here of the city. No. The memory transfer done with Techno Pinkerton. No. Why is there so many that just call out Pinkerton? No, I don't want to do that.
Of course you do.
Mix.
We're not gonna give that away. Let's listen to the note.
Zimmer,
It was so
by the time you get this
noisy
message, I'll
last night.
already
Tried
be
again. I
gone.
could hardly sleep.
I'm escaping the Commonwealth.
Maybe
I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshaling the Retention Bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
Okay. Hello.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Wait, how do you know I am?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
Have you seen him?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
I left the vault to look for him.
Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already.
Where'd he go?
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
Where is the lab?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Tell me more about my parents.
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
What was my father like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again.
Never knew my mother. What can you tell me about her?
Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
Why did you die?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
I understand.
Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Well, what kind of place is this?
Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again.
Well, what about you?
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
What is this lab? And what are you doing?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
Okay. Tell me about the project.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
What was the point?
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
Why didn't it work?
We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment.
Would you stop working on it?
You happened. It wasn't just.
So I'm the
more
fault.
problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.